Hey everyone, I just wanted to go over something real quick. I'm going to start doing some reviews on this channel of stuff that I've bought, stuff that I like, stuff that I don't like. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a tournament pro. I'm not, I just want to let everybody know what, I spend my money on, what works, what doesn't work. I also won't be taking any sponsorships. I don't want to be pigeonholed. I'm not saying that I don't understand. I understand people that do this for a living and they get sponsorships and sponsors pay them to talk about their products. That is obviously how these guys make a living. I don't want to be biased. I will tell you the only sponsorship that I have at all is Kitech, and that's just simply because I buy a ton of them. I would buy a ton of them even if they didn't give me a little bit of discount. It's not like they pay me to use their stuff. I still buy everything. It's just really nice with the high school bass fishing and then our fishing, and it's nice to anything that they can give you a little bit of a discount on is fantastic. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Witch Doctor Tackle. I met Adam a long time ago through a very good friend of mine, and honestly, I wasn't really big on high-end rods, but when he explained to me what he's doing, it made sense. Now, I'm not saying every one of my rods is a Witch Doctor Tackle rod, but the things that I noticed that I was losing fish on, the crankbaits, that kind of rods, and even my swim bait rod, I started to use some of his rods, and I just have the most confidence. It should be way more than it is, to be honest with you. The pricing on these rods, I understand for a lot of people, especially like me, $300 rod is an expensive rod. $400, on the very high end, and then $250 is very expensive to me. I know there's $1,000 rods, and this rod could be, an $800 rod. It really could, with the quality components and everything that they use. I just am a huge fan, and I hope that their popularity grows. I know Cole Sands uses them, very good fisherman, and then a few other guys. I just want to get the name out of there a little bit and just try to show people just what an unbelievable rod that they are. If you're looking for something, and I'm not saying you need to make an entire lineup of these rods, but if you're like me, and I use a lot of small swim baits, it's just something that I very much enjoy doing. I fish a lot of grass lakes. I changed a rod 2 years ago, and I lost a ton of fish. I broke my Witch Doctor rod. I didn't really have the money to replace it at the time, and then basically, it cost us. It cost us several fish and very timely things. I'm not saying the rods that I was using were bad rods. They're not bad rods. They're just, the level of confidence that I have with these rods is unbelievable. I'm going to put a video of just some fish catches. We fish a lot of grass, and keeping these fish pinned on these little, sometimes 1/0 hooks on the little flashy swimmer, can be difficult. And I think all of last year, the 100 fish that I caught, I lost one fish. So here's some fish catches from the last several years on these rods and reels. I hope you enjoy. Fuck yeah. We don't even need to play that. I mean, that's keep. There you go.
I just want to keep using that. I don't know, dude. My hands, I'm happy now.
Make sure it's in there.
Yeah.
You make sure that it's a 4-pounder, baby. And in a minute, when you get that in there,
Which side? This side?
big side, big side. Recirc, okay? So I'll do that. Fuck yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. Listen to you. Keep going. I told you that color. Well, there's just a few fish catches. I've caught so many fish on these rods that I can't even count at this point. Like I said, it's not the most expensive, but it is expensive. But I just have such confidence in it that, you know, there's those few techniques that we all use, that we all like, that, you know, when we're fishing a tournament, that we go to, we turn to, that we feel like, you know, we have a chance to do well. You know, some of those is a small swim bait for me, and then obviously a Carolina rig, which Jordan uses the Witch Doctor rod on that last big fish, and we just don't lose them. We just have, you know, the idea of whenever we hook a fish on those rods that it's coming to the boat. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but I think that if you are in the market for a new rod for your favorite technique, especially on the crankbaits and the rattle traps, obviously we're in Texas. Rattle traps in the spring are huge for us. Probably the biggest weigh-in we've ever had, the big bass that we had came on the rattle trap, came on the Surman 50/50 rod, which, you know, is a phenomenal rod. It just, on a moving bait with treble hooks, we just don't seem to lose them as much. So, you know, I thank everybody for watching this. There's going to be more of these to come. I'll hopefully eventually get a little more used to speaking on camera. I don't like it, but, you know, I got a face made for radio, so that's that. Well, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you feel like it.